Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, my apology for my title or from my other share. I took those lives down, even though I'm going to just try to repeat as quickly as possible what I said there, because what I was saying was right, but the title was too salacious because our amazing brother, True Seeker 24, I thank you, brother. You are so empowering to my soul with your continuous wisdom, and you're always leaving comments. I adore your comments, particularly, but everybody's comments just across the board. I love Black us. And I have massive respect for anybody of any race who embraces the truth. There's nothing I have ever promoted about harming people. And that's one of the specific reasons I love your comments, Brother Truth Seeker, because you know it's the truth that's obliterating, and it actually loses its force when violence is attached to it. Thereby, when I say that, diversity, real diversity, not DEI, that's not real diversity. That's that, one-eyed crap that they put out there. Out of many come one. And then folks will come up with the malarkey of don't divide and conquer. No, the division happened the minute you dudes showed up and divided us from our sanity, from our knowledge of self, so that we think that a bunch of folks just mad as hatters are the titular, authorities over all things, and to the detriment of every single species on this planet. So, Brother True Seeker, I really appreciate you. And you left a comment where you were saying, that you were feeling sorry that the sister had died. And then I was like, oh, I got to get rid of these shares, because I had, I hadn't even really gone into the reason why my passion just made me choose that title of A Sister Dies from Surgical Weave, because the reason I chose that is because it would never happen. It would never happen. Sisters do not get weaves implanted into the head. Yet, when it comes to the fakery of non-Black women, for some strange reason, we Black women always get put up there at the head of just not even considerations, just the fact of we're the fakest women on earth, because a lot of us get the weaves and the fake hair because there was no other way to earn a living often, where you would go to a job and white people get insulted by the fact that our hair, our natural hair, defies gravity. And it's soft and cuddly looking, and I love that. And so it's a thoroughly different motivation for why sisters have been guided to embrace just out and out phoniness. And the phoniest women on the planet are not us, it's white women. They don't have to be, but they tend to feel overcome by us, because it's just the dynamics of, like our eyes. I'm not even a deep, dark skinned sister. I will not, express. I love when the summer comes along. I try to get outside as much as I can so I could get as dark as possible, because I just love the way that looks. I wind up never having enough time, especially since I've been writing the book, to be outside. Peace, Brother Mark Holmes. It's good to see you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, save our planet. That's the truth. So I try to do that. I can't do that. But with the dynamics of just the contrast, even with me being brown, the contrast between the brightness of my eyes and my brown skin is going to highlight the intensity of my gaze. Thereby, I don't need mascara. That's the purpose of mascara, is to accentuate the eyes. Black women, it's not necessary. If you want to wear mascara, I really don't advise it, because your skin is drinking all that crap in, and you don't eat food through your eyeballs. So whatever you're taking in is going to impede function there. I'm just saying, in terms of all the stuff, we're not the fakest, right? Makeup, yes, came from ancient Kemet, but overall, most ancient African, and we're aboriginal to the entire planet. We didn't use makeup, and especially across the board, we didn't use it to trick people, to fool people. I understand with the kohl, or the line across the eyes in ancient Kemet, that it was to stop the glare intensity of the sunlight. I don't know. I haven't seen any confirmation of that. But what I do know is that makeup and, scarification, that is used for tribal affiliation, identification of who you are, so that when people see you, automatically they know. But with Western women, it's a whole different pathology, where they have that white fragility that they have whether we're around or not. Right? They the ones who, I wouldn't say invented, but came up with the whole idea of dropping their handkerchief, and what? All the old movies that show white women getting, oh, I think I'm going to faint because my virtue is being called into question, or something is happening in front that's just so horrible, I can't believe it. And then the men would gallantly lift up the handkerchief for the poor damsel in distress. That's just pure manipulation on their parts. And so I'm talking about a white fragility that's just part of their nature. I'm not speaking on it in terms of it means anyone should hurt them or anything of the sort, but that nature expresses itself in so many different ways that is impacting and endangering our very planet, because it's not just the women, it's the men too, where they need to just show off and prove their right to hegemony, which meaning they have a right, like Mark Zuckerberg. I keep going over that because I'm just like, what? This is an absolute confession from this dude of who they are as a people, Caesar or nothing. And the other live that I took down, I said Caesar or the nothingness, because that's where they're headed to. And I'm not talking about a belief system, I'm talking about the science of the antimatter, and the fact that it wasn't the scientist who died, who was in the wheelchair, Stephen Hawking's. He came out and he said that when they studied the way that the universe is put together, there must be an intelligent force keeping it all in balance. That's the antimatter. Because antimatter is absolutely obliterating. That's what it is. For every single piece of matter, there is its equivalent annihilating force of antimatter. And so if antimatter were just loose and free in our reality, everything would be obliterated. It's Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it's going to go wrong. But do you notice existence just keeps on happening? That's that intelligent force that keeps it at bay. So I'm not talking belief systems. I'm just talking the one and only creator. He's all knowing. He understands everything. And he has rules. He has rules. And these Western folk don't like submitting to anybody's rules if it stops them from being top of the world, ma. The Caesar or it's nothing. They need to be the titular head of everything. And they know, just deep down in their souls, they know who we are. They know. That's why you got freaking not just identity thieves out there, you got soul thieves out there who are waging wars in various places. I dare not say who they are, do I? Huh? Right? They just like stole our whole legacy and as if it's theirs. We wouldn't be them. Right? So when it comes to just like sharing the facts and the truth of what's going on, what they've done to our planet, it's terrifying to them. It's terrifying. And in every single regard, because how do you stop? The only reason why I have my own natural hair is because one day, and I think I was 21 years old, it had rained outside and I was, heading over to my then, I don't even want to mention it, a friend's house. That's the way I should say it. A former friend, once I learned that white people are not my friends. I was headed over there and I looked in the mirror and once again, the weave, it had rat nested up on my head because it's not my hair. And that's even though I got 100% natural human hair, it wasn't mine. It was detached from the scalp, which is a lot of Indian women who do all kinds of incantations over the hair they sell to us. They know it's going to us. All right. I'm not saying there's white women out there who do plenty of that with the fake hair on their head. A lot of these singers, they are almost bald, but they be stitching them weaves in there. Okay. But I'm just saying, I went back and I was just looking and I said, this looks ridiculous. So I just, I thought, I was going to just try to comb it out because it was all knotted up. I just took the sucker off and started. I said, you know what? I love when I see them sisters with their locks. I've been admiring them and I would just like envy them because they seem so rooted, so stable. And so that's what I did. And then and this was this was decades and decades ago. And it's been a growing just acceptance for so many Black women that one day it was called the movement. How in the world can they stop that? How in the world can they stop sisters from finding out that creamy crack is seeping through the pores of your scalp? How can they stop that? And then you realize, like, why in the world would I not like having a cloud on my head? Right? Why would I want something so caustic that it's going to make my hair fall out in a couple years? No. But no matter what horror that's doing, that doesn't make us the fakest women on the planet. And this started from, I hope I still have it here. Yes, I did. Brother Mad Black TV did an excellent analysis. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. I got to share my screen. I'm glad I remember before I did the whole thing. And you couldn't tell what the heck I was talking about. There we go. All right. Oh, wait, I could do it that way now. There we are, right there. Brother Mad Black TV did this excellent share going over Pamela Anderson, who is I'm 4 years younger than I am. And this is a Photoshop picture. This is a Photoshop picture that they put in with this article where she has been declared the most beautiful woman in the world. These people are the ultimate culture vultures. As we sisters started recognizing, we don't need all that stuff. And all my life, there've been Black women who never wore a stitch of makeup in their lives. And nobody ever noticed that there was anything wrong with their faces. But when white women don't have makeup on, like I said, it just, they kind of look pallid, extra pallid. All right, let me see if I can find a real photo of Pamela Anderson, not this Photoshopped one. All right, because I'm a sister. I support our sisters. If I see something that's like swearing that is an equivalent to the fakeness of these dudes. And I'm going to try to find her from 2022, no makeup. Let's see, no, that's with plenty of makeup. Let's see now. No makeup. Yep, thank you. Okay, images. I mean, this is even 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So she'd be 55. Wow. I never looked like this when I was 55 years old. I'm just saying. Okay? They are the ones who invented fakery in order to have a hope of having someone pay attention to these things right here, windows to the lack of soul that they evidence in their deeds, their misdeeds. Okay? And so that's what that looked like without all the makeup on. I'm just saying, there's wrinkles that in that picture that they photoshopped for the article that we're not seeing. We're not seeing them. Okay? I'm not mad at Pamela Anderson. Good for her. I'm like, yo, what's it? Melissa Gilbert also? Whoa, let's look at Melissa. Melissa, good for her. She out there, and I understand she's up in New Jersey, as a matter of fact, on her little farm. Let's see now. Melissa Gilbert. And she confessed, and she's the same exact age as me. 2024. She's the same exact age as me. And as I say, I am not mad at her. I've recommended this to white women, that they need to just be who they are. Be who you are. But why do you have to hunt us while you're doing it? Why have you always got to be Fay Ray? I know I'm wrinkled, but you still want me, black man, don't you? I know black don't crack. I know biracials do. But I'm just saying, you still want me, King Kong. Stop. Stop. That's the most wrinkled, friggin' diabolically so ugly portion of your nature as a people. All of you? No. There are white women out there who don't give a damn. And Melissa Gilbert's one of them. Good for her. Good for her. Right? I'm not chasing after them. They say stupid stuff, though. And then I'm going to say, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Right? I don't want them coming after our melanin. That's for sure. I don't want them trying to get with black men so that they could, because they don't want to be black. They don't like black people. Maybe they could hope they could wipe us out, but any new crop of black folks who come in, the Africans are going to find out they don't like you either. They don't like you either. That's why they used you to go on up in Europe so you could terrify all the white people on trumped up mess, even though Africans don't do anything up in there. It's mostly the Arabs who go up in there, who do stuff after being treated abysmally. And then they Arabs mean mixed people. So they got a lot of that Caucasian genetic programming and going right on in their blood. And so that makes them, flip a gasket real quick and get violent. There's a difference. You could be angry, but that doesn't mean you have to do something heinous. Okay? So this is good. Kudos. Salute Melissa for just being and saying, no, she doesn't want the surgery. There's a vast difference between a weave and surgery. These women have gone like lemmings off the cliff. They didn't even know what the results would be. And some of them, I remember, what was it? The actress who was in that, I can't remember her name, but a lot of them, they just wind up looking like freaking creepy. What is it from? I'm just forgetting the different little things that are not important to me. Right? but they don't look good. They don't look good. It's strange. It's stretched. So, oh, I remember. Let's see. I remember this one. Brazil movie face with, oh, face stretch. That's better. That's it. Okay. And so they had to stop all of that. Or they're trying to stop it. They're now promoting this idea of surgical procedures that look more natural. Well, you know what? Nothing looks more natural than natural. There's old actresses from the 50s and 60s who they didn't smoke, so they didn't look all like Betty Davis, all woo, wow, oh, she looked bad. But they look pretty decent. At the best they could. What it is that Black you and me, we could communicate with each other now. And so we can verify. Nobody told me when I was, like 8 or 10 years old that there was anything such as, black don't crack. I hadn't heard that until I got to be in my mid-20s. But it never even, we didn't even think, because we don't think like predators. We don't have a million different insulting, quippy terms for them like they have for us. Where they have and the stereotypes is such a war strategy because they don't need us to actually be the stereotype. They just need to create enough traction, and white people are so terrified of us, they'll just run with it. They'll just run with the stereotype. And so when I make comments on Brother Mad Black TV's channel, I know it's just not going to be seen if it's not going to be taken away altogether. So let me refresh this and see. I know what I said was good. I know. One person saw this. One person in 3 hours. In 3 hours, one person saw that. Right? That's because they shadow banned it. It's hidden. They do the same thing with some of the most incredible commenters on my channel, right? Brother Truth Seeker, his comments always want, I'm like, how's this brother getting one like and it's from me? Sister Zizza the artist, Sister Jai Africa. If you say something and it's just filled with wisdom and you also bring up the reality of man-made radiation, it gets hidden. So this is how they're controlling the narrative of who we are, so that we wind up just taking it as a granted. Oh, Black women are the fakest women on the planet. And that's not true. Sisters like me, like on Brother Mad Black's channel, it was one share where I commented on someone else's comment, and I forgot what the subject matter was specifically, but somehow or another, he was talking about some bedbug or whatever. He was talking about an actor bedbug, but this commenter, he was obviously looked biracial. He asked something that was none of his business. He's like, to Brother Mad Black, does your wife have natural hair? And Mad Black didn't answer, but I was just so incensed. I was like, yes, she does. And he was like, you liar, you don't even know. Yes, I do know. Yes, I do know. But just the ability, the confidence to say something so just mean. Like it's a given. All Black women have weaves on their hair. That's because they don't need us to actually be the stereotype, for them to just plaster the stereotype everywhere. So then you have people who, long after I finish this live, will be out there saying, oh, but Black women, they're so fake. You can't get any faker than the white woman. You can't. They're the ones running out, even with the BBLs. Yes, there have been Black women who have gotten that procedure and it has been disastrous. The overwhelming majority of sisters ain't getting no goddamn BBLs, right? And the overwhelming majority of women getting what they only want to call Brazilian butt lifts, but they know who they're trying to imitate. Olivia Dunn, who's done, all right? You couldn't even reach the levels of a Simone Biles, right? It's white women. It's white women rushing down to Brazil and all over the place. And Asian women, Korean women actually get more plastic surgery than any woman on the planet. Oh, but they're so feminine. Their plastic surgeon knows why. Ordinarily, woo, them chins, okay? I'm just saying. I had posted pictures there were 2 columns in a plastic surgeon's office, right in the entry room. 2 columns that went up all the way up to the ceiling, filled from top to bottom with the severed jaws that had been removed from his Korean patients. Do you know the Korean government, and I mean South Korea, not North Korea, ordered him to have those columns removed? Because of me, I don't know. It's possible. Sometimes I can definitively see where me voicing my protests has had an effect. With that, I don't know. That just could have been a lot of people saying something. But they're gone. I have the photos, still have the photos. But I'm just saying, when you get someone cutting your friggin' jaw in half so you could have a more delicate feminine face, that is heaps more fake than wearing a weave. But no, there's no sister. Again, my apology. There's no sister who died from having a weave surgically attached to her scalp. There may be in the future, but it won't be natural to us. It will not overwhelm the numbers of white women going out getting all kinds of procedures done at every age. 16 years old. They don't just have sweet 16 parties, they have happy rhinoplasty parties where they're so happy. At this point in time, they don't consider themselves real unless they've had some surgical procedure. At 16. I feel sorry for them for that. I really do. I have to be honest about that. I try to keep any compassion for them because they'll use that against you in an instant. But I'm human. I can't, and when it comes to children, especially all children, all races, how in the world could you be raising your children that you constantly call kids? Right? How could you be raising them so that they hate themselves so much? They don't know the power of their own, just what they were born to be, that at 16, and they do these competitions with each other over who's going to get the most procedures. How could you be raising your children to believe that that's a good thing? Right? When you look at all the people who've had plastic surgery so they look like literal freaks, it's not our Black children. It's not our Black children. Right? Be proud of the might your melanin gives you, where it roots every single nuance aspect of who you are as a person, so that you are so centered. You have the ability to recognize lunacy when you see it. But these interlopers, these predator mimics, and if you're not a predator mimic, I don't mean you. But these predator mimics have stolen our confidence, our faith in our own authority over our own lives. So anything that happens, we're running on over to them. Okay? So let me share the screen again because I want to finish up with what I had shared. That because I don't mind acknowledging when somebody does something good and they're white, Thank you very much. If you're going to talk the truth, I ain't mad at you. We need real diversity, not fake diversity. So stay with your own people. Work it out with your own people. All right? But thank you, Kevin Blanche, who let's see now, bookmarks and manage bookmarks. And it's going to be in Fuku Biology Sickness. There we go. And down, go. There it is, right there. Let's see, which one do I want right here? Okay, this one right here. This is good enough. Drone footage shows orcas hunting and eating dusky dolphins for first time. This is unprecedented. The food chain has been broken. This is another thing they hide. And they hide my presence altogether. Because I'm anti-genocide. Their own children. Forget about the rhinoplasty parties. How about they died of a heart attack on the athletic field, and we don't know why. Science are mystified, baffled, confused. Same damn thing they said about all the dead creatures in the Pacific Ocean. We're mystified, puzzled, and confused. No, you're friggin' psychopaths. That's what you are. That you, once again, are even looking at the deaths from radiation. Because it's been documented with Dr. Yuri Bandashevsky. You are looking at your own children dying and you don't give a damn enough to tell the truth. You don't even mention man-made radiation. You even hide other white men's content so that nobody knows about it. Why? Because it's coming for Black us. That's what you intended it to do all along. Right? Gunter Myrdal was hired by the U.S. Congress to do a study over the Negro problem. He wrote a whole book about it. He said that white Americans would love to get rid of us if it doesn't make them feel too guilty. We're supposed to believe the myth that we're just phenomenal. I'm Fay Ray. No matter what, even if I do have the wrinkles, you aren't supposed to look at those wild, really fake Black women. No. You're supposed to love aging faster than you, Black man. White woman me. I'm just saying. Because these dolphins are being eaten by creatures that never ate them before, the orcas. Because the orcas are starving to death. And they're not dumb. Creatures don't just, oh, well, no food. Can't eat the dolphins over there swimming. Oh, wow, man, that looks like a buffet going on over there on aisle 5. No, they're going to go. They're going to eat whatever they can. That's why you've got all these friggin' man-eating creatures becoming man. They weren't man-eating before, but all of these predator creatures are invading the suburbs where they never used to go before. Bears, hot and heavy, mountain lions, ocelots, alligators. I'm just saying what's happening. They're not finding food where they usually would because the food chain has been broken. It's been broken. That has wild ramifications in terms of our oxygen levels, in terms of ambient background rate. They call it background, but it's all man-made. They just stop counting it, right? They just wait a year or two, and then we can up the levels, allowable levels of radiation, and just call everything background. Doesn't matter to your body. One atom, that's all it takes, right? So the orcas eat salmon. There are no more salmon. I don't know what people are eating, but they ain't eating salmon from the Pacific Ocean. They aren't eating salmon from the Columbia River. They aren't eating salmon coming from Alaska, unless it was in a fishery, in which case, unless they are using massive carbon filtration, And it's still going to let the tritium through, and I'm sure a couple isotopes, and they would have to keep changing that filtration system on the constant, because the radiation would just chew the thing to pieces. Then you don't want to be eating definitely some salmon or sea moss or the radioactive rice or all the stuff that's coming out of Fukushima. And it ain't stopped. So it's the rain. It's in the rain. It's raining on all the crops all over the world. Certain, plant matter is going to take it up more or less, like mushrooms. I see them pushing the cachava, the mushroom stuff. Avoid it. Right? Avoid it, because mushrooms suck up radiation, especially the darker, like chaga mushrooms. I bought chaga mushrooms because they have melanin in them. And then I thought, wait a minute, they got melanin in them. They're going to absorb an awful lot of radiation, because that's what our melanin does in our bodies. As it's actually working and activated, it can transfer energy into life. But we're organic beings. We will succumb if there's too much radiation in our bodies. I documented that with the channel Aframax English. I do know Aframax English has become a thoroughly different kind of channel ever since I mentioned them several times. Okay? Before, they used to post beautiful videos showcasing all the people who were suffering from deformities. I've captured screen shares of those things and put them in a couple of my videos. But I'm just saying that the things that they hide so that they could get away with whatever they do, it's got to stop with us. It's got to stop with us. All right. All right. I think I said all I need to say. I get tired of talking and I wind up talking too much. I love you, family. And yeah, just the basics. Support your warriors. This is a lifetime gig. It's a lifetime duty job. I do it because I love you, but I need your help. So go to 25,000yearcycle.org, which let me screen capture this, because that makes no sense to show all that silly people and not showcase this, which is absolutely astounding. And as a matter of fact, let me get I guess it is what it is. Dr. Shi built this website, and he's formulated cures. And they're not cures so that it covers up your symptoms. They're cures so that you don't need them anymore. You can, and he'll help you get through your addictions so you can get to the other side. I know it helped me. I used to be, whoa, big. I remember when I first met the brother, and he said to me, and he wasn't even a doctor then. He just said to me, because I had rotten skin. And he said, you could cure that. I was like, what? Stop. I didn't believe him. I didn't believe so much. I didn't believe. And it turned out he was right. He's been studying healing all his life since he was a teenager. Since he was a teenager knucklehead. He was in the 5%. He was in the nation. He was absorbing the real data. And so it just makes absolutely perfect sense that this is the brother just keeps on going with healing. So come on over here. You could make an appointment, have a consultation to assist you towards your own healing. Because let me tell you, you will feel magnificent. Magnificent. I didn't know. Life is way too short to reach 60 years old and feel old. I feel like a 20-year-old. I know I don't look like it. I don't need to look like it. But at the same time, woohoo, health is sweet. Health is sweet. Okay? And then you could also come on up here. And once again, I need to thank Beautiful. Sister Jennifer, thank you so much. The people who buy my products, you come back and buy them again because they're outstanding. That's just what it is. And I formulate these things so that they do what they're supposed to do. The silk hair, this I've perfected. This one, it drove me crazy because I was like, okay, it needs to be better. And then now it's perfect. It's perfect. This stuff is so moisturizing and it has none of the toxic crap in it. So I'm not just asking you to donate. I provide products so that you don't have to just, oh, geez, she's asking for another $1. No, come, heal yourself. The soaps, each one of them does a separate healing procedure function on your skin with none of the toxic crap. If you are washing with Dove, with Irish Spring, you can put yourself to sleep reading the ingredients on there because it's just like chimeroglithol, so close. None of that is in my stuff. None of it. The Silbar, it has my own colloidal silver. So that's all I put in it because when you're making soap, you have to use water. I don't put in, like a little eyedropper. There's a little colloidal silver. No, the entire recipe. I think it calls for like, 1 pound of water or whatever. It's 1 pound of my colloidal silver. If I didn't make it myself, that sucker would be so expensive. But I make it myself. And then the new black, oh, the charcoal is incredible. According to reports, charcoal absorbs 60% of its weight in radiation. That's why I made that baby. Because you might be caught out in the rain one day and you want to know you could come home and have something that will scrub as much of those isotopes off your skin as possible because they will get absorbed into your body. And so there's charcoal and baking soda, 2 of the best, as reported, surfactants for getting radiation off of anything. I can't say it's going to get it all off, and I can't say that that's what my soap does by law, but as reported, that's what those ingredients do, and that's what that soap is so black, it's incredible. Okay, I'm just saying. And then the Nzinga, I'm partial. You know how you have children, you got one that you're like, oh, you're mine. All right, well, the Nzinga is mine because that's all that we use pretty much. All right, that is so energizing and oxygenating to your skin because that's what the ingredients do. That's what they're reported to do. The calendula oil, I make my own. I steep it, I infuse pure virgin olive oil for 2 months. 2 months in absolute darkness. Absolute darkness. And that's all I use in the soap. And then I put in the other ingredients, the lemongrass, the rosemary oil. Look up what they do to the skin. That's all in there. So if you use an Irish Spring or Zestfully Clean, you are not as clean as you think you are because that stuff has got contaminants in it. And it's produced by companies that can't stain you. They make skin bleaching creams still and sell them in India where those poor Black Indians have been driven out of their minds. They don't begin to understand the wealth of their, I don't know what kind of melanin they have, because I know this hair right here, this is communications network up here, okay? So they don't have that. They got that bone stuff going on out their head, right? We got the real receptors, the real antenna, okay? So I'm just saying they've been talked out their minds, and so they think that, that skin lightening stuff is the way. No, go look at Wendy Williams because that's what she's suffering from. So come on over here and get your heel on, all right? All right, that's it. Let me get on out of here before this is too. Oh, peace, my brother, Diason Productions. It's good to see you, King. All right, to everybody. Mwah! go buy the soap or go to my Patreon or to the Cash App, donate just $1. And that will assist me mightily because I gotta, oh my goodness, my book is just, it's so big, it's thick, it's like that. All right. And I gotta finish that. So hopefully I am not coming up here. No, 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 no. I got good at just staying away from this, but they keep putting stuff out there. So let me get on out of here. Mwah. I love you. Straight black pride is pro-black. It ain't pro-white, all right? And we own everything. Peace and blessings.